Welcome to the Rubio method. Venture into the unfiltered world of Chris Rubio. The Rubio method delivers an unapologetically edgy take on the often overlooked world of men's mental health. Rubio, a master communicator, wields a potent knack for no BS enlightenment. Step into this no-nonsense arena, where men are challenged to evolve and confront the man staring back at them from the mirror.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Jim Scarano, out in, I believe it's New Jersey. Happy birthday, my man. I hope you had a good day at school, got in your little rowboat or kayak or canoe or whatever the hell that thing is. You try to explain the difference to me. I don't know what it is. Welcome to the Rubio Method. My name is Chris Rubio, the host of the Rubio Method. You're going to have a wild time today. We're going to jump all around. This is episode 73. Can you believe that? Episode 73. We've got Jenna in the background. At some point, we're going to have Jenna on screen so you guys know that I'm actually talking to a real human being. If you ever see me looking down that way, there's a little chat room and she yells at me sometimes, or she throws in some funny comments to make me laugh or get me off target, or who knows what the hell she's doing out there in Canada. She told me it snowed in Calgary or Saskatoon, or I don't know, whatever she said. All right, so what do we got on store today? We've got some major flip-flopping happening right now. We'll get into that. Things that are simply too hypocritical not to talk about. I didn't want to get too political today. I wanted to try to stay a little bit funny, but Deb, my mom, sorry, I had to. How do people know that things aren't on the internet and we can just go back and see them? Like, I don't understand that. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about a hopeless romantic that might need to just hang it up. I think even Jenna agreed. We might need to call it, ding, ding, ding. This one's done. And we're going to talk about some dude that has so much confidence that he's willing to alienate his family for the betterment of America. All of that and much, much more on episode 73 of the Rubio Method. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching the Rubio Method.
Let's get going, gang.
Our dedicated staff is ready to work for you. Artbeat specializes in custom apparel. Call us or order online. Free shipping nationwide. Custom printed shirts are our specialty, and we make sure you get exactly what you want. Bring in your own design or let our team create one for you. Promote your business, event, or club with pens, caps, bottles, mugs, and more.
Creating cool since 1985.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Nana Mona. I was actually just going to say Nana Mona. I heard you're going on a little plane ride. You're going to have a good time. And Jenna's taking you to some Mexican Riviera or something like that. So that should be an absolute blast. Don't worry about the flight. It'll be easy and fun. Don't worry that you're 30,000 feet up in the air. Not a big deal. Welcome back to the Rubio Method. You can watch us on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. It'll be on Spotify and iTunes by tomorrow. And it's also going to be on, what else we got? TikTok and Instagram, or this kids call it IG. So let's get moving here. Before I get really moving, though, everyone has asked me, Rubio, what's the point of your show? Because they'll say, Rubio, I heard you have a show. What's it about? And I say, well, it's kind of me just talking to people, having a good time, trying to get you guys to understand some certain things that the mainstream media does not put out. And I watch all types of media, all types of news. I get like a local paper because it's fed by the AP, and I want to see exactly what people are being told as opposed to what is actually out there. Because I go into deep dives on X and I'll post them, and people will say, well, that's not true. And actually, it is true. You just didn't hear about it. So I just want you to have a good time, learn a couple things. And if you want to comment, you can comment on Facebook, YouTube, all those good ones, LinkedIn, doesn't matter to me. Whether you agree with me or disagree, we can have a discussion all day, all night long, as Lionel Richie says. All right, so everything happens for a reason. Kamala Harris has finally agreed to do an interview. It's fantastic. She just did it. It's going to be 44 days, I believe, since she got inaugurated. Bear Essentials, legend equals Rubio. You're the legend, my man. Charles Wallace, writing books left and right. And she just confirmed that she's finally going to do an interview. It's been over 40 days since she was inaugurated as the Democratic National Convention. Basically, it was a coup to get Joey B out. This is just obvious. Because 5 weeks ago, she was the worst thing in the world, and now she's the second coming of Christ. So there you got that. But here's the thing with this interview. So she has not done one interview. No one's spoken to her. J.D. Vance and El Trumpo, they're doing like 8 interviews a day. I'm not saying she has got to do 8. Let's just do 1, because you don't even know what her policies are. So how can you vote for someone that you don't know what she's talking about or what her policy is because she doesn't do interviews? And you're like, well, Rubio, I'll just go to her website, KamalaHarris.com for prez. Okay. It's not on there either, though. Like, this is insane. And like I said, I have no problem. You vote who you want to vote for. But if I ask you a question like, why would you vote for her, and you can't use her gender, her ethnicity, or the word Trump, can you do it? And I've done that to several people and said, and I go, that shouldn't be your vote. Call me crazy. I don't know what to tell you. But here's the thing about this interview that makes me laugh. She decided it's going to be on CNN. That's a massive shocker. No one could have saw that one coming. No. It's going to be with Dana Bash. Dana Bash has been very, very on the left, where she said, Kamala's not a border czar, not that. Dana Bash's husband is one of the 51 intelligence officers that said that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, and that has been proven false 1,000 times. So it's going to be on CNN with Dana Bash. So they're just going to be lobbing questions. What's your favorite ice cream? Things like that. She's having Tim Walz, her VP candidate, go with her. Like, this is sad. This is really sad. Like, if you're pro-woman, which, yeah, go ahead, be pro-woman. Wouldn't you be a little embarrassed that you're going to be voting? I want her because she's a woman. Okay, her first interview, she needs a man to come with her. Like, let her go. Cut the leash. Let her run. See what she can do. Or are you afraid that you know what she can do, and this is just a bad thing? And the last one, it's going to be recorded. It's not even going to be live. So Tim Walz, CNN, Dana Bash, and recorded. So all it's going to be is a commercial, because they're going to record it and then edit the hell out of it. Why wouldn't they edit? Why wouldn't you just do it live? This is so sad to me. It just doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't also make sense to me that she's flip-flopping so much. What is she flip-flopping on? Well, last week, she started saying that one of her new policies, not on her website still though, is that she's no taxes on tips. No taxes on tips. Yeah, man, El Trumpo said that about a month ago. And everyone in the mainstream media blasted him, saying this is a terrible idea, a terrible idea. Kamala says it, and wow, this is such a great idea. You don't need to tax the tips. Wow, way to go. Okay. Then the next one, she talks about lowering insulin prices. And I have a good video about that one we're going to show in a second. But then the last one, and this is the best one of all, like, this one's hilarious. And JD Vance, we're going to show you pick number one in a second here, Jenna. He actually called this out. Kamala's new stance is she's going to donate, or she's going to pledge hundreds of millions of dollars to building a wall. To building a wall. This is too factual. You will be banned. I know. I'm sorry, Charles Wallace. She says she's going to build a wall. There's hours and hours and hours of video, posts on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, where she's blasted the wall. Just call El Trumpo. It's his vanity project. It's stupid. It doesn't work. This is unbelievable. But JD Vance called it a couple weeks back. Jenna, pick one for me, please. You can see his tweet here. It says, Kamala Harris will soon propose that we finish the border wall and make America great again. No one should be fooled by the fake campaign copying President Trump's vision. The difference is Trump actually lowered prices as President Harris in power now and does nothing. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. And that was from a couple weeks ago, I think, where she started flip-flopping. It's like, okay, this doesn't even make sense. But if you go back to it, and I just found out today, this just came in, she just turned down an interview from Dr. Phil. He's got a massive audience. And this is her wheelhouse. His audience members are 25 to 54-year-old majority suburban housewives. Why wouldn't you that went ear holster? But she turned it down because they know it won't be edited. It won't be a softball questions. What do you like, peanut butter, crunchy or creamy? Jenna, what do you like, crunchy or creamy? I think I go creamy. Crunchy is good, but it tends to get in your teeth a little too much. And so let's go back. 2017, Alberta was snowing, creamy, smooth. Yeah, I agree with you. 2017, Kamala quote, asking taxpayers to pay for a border wall is a terrible idea. Okay. 2018, funding Trump's unrealistic border wall would be a gross misuse of taxpayer money. Okay. 2019, Trump's border wall is stupid. Okay. 2020, as I said, Trump's border wall is a complete waste of taxpayer money and won't make us any safer. Okay. 2021 through 2023, she becomes the border czar and lets millions of illegals in. In 2024, build the wall. Video 2, Jenna.
President's vanity project. Listen, if we deconstruct, get the pun, deconstruct wall. If we deconstruct the issue, let's be clear. And again, let's just point to the facts and the evidence and the data. And the fact is that we are not facing a crisis. The crisis we're facing is a crisis of leadership. That's the crisis. That's the crisis. And a wall won't cure that. And a wall won't cure that.
He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder.
So if there's a crisis at leadership, then if there's been 20 million illegals that have come in, then so you're and Joey B are the crisis right now? And that's Tim Walz. If you were listening on iTunes or Spotify, he said, let me know how tall it is. If it's 25, I'll invest in 30-foot ladders because that's how easy it is to get over. Okay. Chameleon. Yeah. 100% Gru. And it's one of those things that if Dana Bash doesn't ask, you were opposed to the wall for 7 years and now all of a sudden you're viva the wall. Why? Like that is the easiest question. Like, why is that? And Tim Walz, all of a sudden, he says, no, that wall's a good idea. Yeah, I stand behind this 100%. What? Okay, and regarding the insulin prices that are flip-flopping, she says insulin prices will be dropped under her. But let's go to video 3, because I think someone else had this idea.
Cost is just $35 a month per type of insulin, and some plans may offer it free. So for everybody that was getting ripped off and paying tremendous prices, senior citizens, is a tremendous saving.
It is President Biden and I that took on Big Pharma and finally capped the cost of insulin for our seniors at $35 a month. But Donald Trump and his running mate intend to get rid of our $35 cap on insulin.
Get rid of it? He already did it. What? That's saying Rubio's going to get rid of his bald and beautiful and brown look. No, I've already got it. It's done. We've established that. I don't know what to tell you. And then the flip-flopping is so obvious that, like, this one's hilarious. It's so obvious that El Trumpo is running ads where it's Kamala arguing Kamala. Let's go to video 4.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
So is the economy better or worse right now? I don't get it. Because if it's worse, and you need to fix it, then Bidenomics doesn't work. If Bidenomics works, okay, Bidenomics working so well, she needs to fix it. Yeah, exactly, Chris Walker. Like, I don't understand. If it works, the economy's great. But if the economy's bad, then you need to fix it. But then why don't you fix it if you're already in office? What am I missing here? Like, I need someone to explain this to me like I'm a third grader, because I like, if I had hair, I'd pull it out because I just don't get it. Like, well, what am I just don't understand. Let's move on, Jenna. I'm tired of talking about Kamala. Okay, good. There are winners and losers in life. The Democratic National Convention wrapped up last Thursday, and there was a massive, massive surprise build on Thursday. That's the end of the thing. Everyone's going crazy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yay, yay, rah, rah, rah. They had their propaganda, which the Republicans did the exact same thing. I get it. You're going to spew to your crowd. Everyone's going crazy. But here's the big deal on this one. This one became a little bit weird. Early in the day, I think it was about 10 a.m., the White House political director, her name is Emi Ruiz. She posted this photo on X, formerly known as Twitter. Pick 5, Jenna. Okay, for those listening on iTunes and Spotify, Emi Ruiz at 1:37 p.m. Eastern, so it's 10:37. I was kind of right. She posts a picture of just a bumblebee emoji. It's just a bumblebee emoji. You probably did not hear about this on social mainstream media. A bumblebee emoji is the sign for the queen bee. Who's the queen bee? Beyonce. So everyone's like, oh my God, the end of the night. Are they going to have Beyonce there? That's a huge draw. She's, has 27 billion followers, blah, blah, blah. And then I heard it was going to be George W. Bush, or then it was going to be, what the hell's her name? Taylor Swift. But then it came always back to Beyonce. And wouldn't you know, the mainstream media just ate it up. Let's go to video 7, Jenna.
There are rumors that Beyonce might make an appearance. I personally think that that's true, but we shall see.
We're going to say this now. Can I say this?
Well, wait, let's couch it in rumors and rumbling.
Okay, let's just say, that's out there. The Beyonce talk.
You have to stay tuned, but I have it on really good word. The Beehive is buzzing right now because the preparation for the Beehive, it has to start early. Sources come from backstage. That's all I'll tell you.
Okay.
TMZ and The Hill reporting that she will indeed be making a surprise performance on stage.
Okay, so now you got the mainstream media pumping this out. She's going to be making a surprise performance. In the background, they're already talking about it. They got to set up extra stage because Beyonce just can't come out on some wicker stage and, go behind a podium and start talking. Or singing, whatever she does, and go out there. So they're pumping it. There was no surprise. And even at the end, they said, there was, that was wrong. Oh, okay. So you just blatantly lied to everyone? And then, so you're thinking, Rubio, what was her name? Emmy Ruiz? What did she say? She said, about 3 hours after she posted that Bumblebee, she went out and said, oh, sorry, my kid got my phone, and posted that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you as much as I like poutine. Nice try. So there was no big surprise at all. Their specifics, their thing that they were really worried about was not the immigration, was not the inflation, was not the economy, was not the gas prices, was not wars going at all that. Jenna says we all have that excuse that she doesn't even have any kids. That's very funny, Jenna. Their number one priority was El Trumpo. Okay, remember I told you last week how at the Republican National Convention, they said Joe Biden, for all my new watchers and listeners, I call him Joey B, they mentioned him two times out of the 4 days at the Republican National Convention. If you had to guess how many times at the Democratic National Convention they mentioned El Trumpo or Donald Trump, 401 times. Holy hell. That's almost stalkerish. Okay. I want people talking about me, but 401 times in 4 days when there's other things going on, that's just insane. So 2 times for Joey B, 401 for Trump. And if you watched any of the convention, I did actually suffer through a little bit of it. It was like just Trump. And like, guys, get over it. The hypocrisy, the thing that this, I can't really talk about the policies because they didn't really post any. The hypocrisy was off the charts. One of the speakers, Michelle Obama, talked about her parents being, quote, suspicious of folks who took more than they needed. Jenna, please, video 6.
Didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed.
For those listening on iTunes and Spotify right now, it just showed a video of all 4 or 5 of her homes. I think the cheapest one was $8 million. Her outfit that she wore to the DNC to speak was $5,000. Okay, so let's just redo this. Her parents were being suspicious of folks who took more than they needed. I'm all for capitalism. I want you to have as many homes as you want, but I'm not going to say to you, my mom was suspicious of, I'm very suspicious of people that have more than they need. I could give 2 craps. I want Jenna to have 19 homes. As long as she's, not stealing from someone and she's making good money, do whatever the hell you want with your money. But don't preach to me that if you've got 4 homes that, I'm suspicious of anyone that has more than they need. Unless you can chop your body into 5 pieces and still be functioning like a snake or something, why do you need 5 homes? You can have 5 homes. I'm not throwing bones at you, but I'm just saying, why throw bones at other people? I don't get it. And then she says, another quote, we will, quote, never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. Her kids are worth $10 million each. You know what they've done in life? They've been Michelle and Barack's kid. And I'm not throwing bones about having generational wealth. I hope to leave my 3 boys with as much money as possible. Okay. Rubio, you'll be covering World War III live, but as long as people's feelings aren't hurt. Yeah, Chalice, I think you're right on that one. It's one of those things where you gotta kind of just think a little bit on this one. So her kids have done nothing, and she's opposed to generational wealth. Then you hate your kids? You better not give Sasha, Malika, or whatever their names are, any money, because then that's generational wealth. That's going to the next generation. Wealth means money. Generation means next kids. It's not hard. This was a great one. Jenna, let's go to video 8.
If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No.
the Democrats literally just changed the rules. It's never been done like this. How many primary votes did Kamala get? She got as many as I did. 0. Okay, they just changed the rules. Everyone on the Democrats voted for Joey B to be their next president. He goes out, has a terrible performance against Donald Trump. Well, I still think that was a setup. And then all of a sudden, they say he's going to drop out, and now we're just going to place Kamala. That's cheating. That's 100% cheating. That's cheating. That's changing the rules. Okay, that's 100%. The hypocrisy of that is just unbelievable. I just don't even understand how someone can look at that and go, oh, guys, even I know this is a little, like, we probably shouldn't throw this one in. And if you can't agree that that's cheating and changing the rules, then you're just blinded. You're either blinded, you're delusional, or you're in a coma. I don't know. All I know is I'm going to come back and do an accept and embrace. We're going to talk about the big O. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method. Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Chalice. Check out Charles Wallace. Go on to Amazon. He just wrote another book. It's a kid's book. I don't have the name or title. Charles Wallace, throw it up there on the comments if you can. Now, this is, I think, his second or third book. The dude is super, super talented. Check him out. And also his Bear Essentials podcast is absolutely phenomenal. One of the best interviewers in the game. Welcome back to episode 73 of the Rubio Method. My name is Chris Rubio. If you have any email questions, you can email rubio@therubiomethod.com, or you can just shoot them in on LinkedIn, Facebook. Jenna right now says, sorry, I'm so into the show. I forgot an email question. No worries, Jenna. We'll get to whatever you want. Accept and embrace. Let's move on to category 3. Oprah was there and talking about, this makes me laugh very hard. She's talking about being oppressed. Jenna, video 9, please.
Redwood forests, love those redwoods, to the Gulf Stream waters. I've seen racism and sexism and income inequality and division. I've not only seen it, at times, I've been on the receiving end of it.
Okay. Number one, everyone's seen racism. Everyone's seen sexism. I'm not saying that everyone has experienced it, okay? But you probably have. You probably dealt with some idiots and some people, maybe just 8 white people that wear glasses and they're left-handed. I don't know. It doesn't matter, okay? Everyone's experienced those. But to say you've had oppression, Oprah's worth $3 billion. That's with a billion dollars. Okay, I'm not throwing bones at her worth that much. Proud to her. She had a great show. When she was in her 30s, she was making $30 million a year. What was that like in the 80s or 90s? $30 million a year is a lot now. Imagine back then. And she has over $500 million worth of property. And she's oppressed? Like, read the room, man. You guys have people that can barely pay for gas and buy eggs and groceries. If you've been to the grocery store in the past 3 years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I just don't understand what they're doing with this in the blatant lying. Like the blatant lying. There's a guy named Aguino, I don't know how to pronounce this, Gunnell. He's a former Capitol police officer. Okay, former Capitol police officer. He was there on January 6th, you know, the big insurrection where no one brought any weapons. Yeah, because that's a good way to have an insurrection. He lied to the DNC audience, asserting that 5 officers died as a result. January 6th. Video 10, Jenna.
I need to acknowledge the sacrifices that 5 officers who died as a result of January 6th made on that day.
There was no officers killed on that day. I mean, that's a simple fact. You can search that all you want. Ashley Babbitt, she was a former military lady. She was going through and she was shot. She was shot and killed. That's the only murder that took place there. That's it. You can look at that over in fact. And then there was one, I think it was Szynski or something like that, where they said someone hit him with a fire extinguisher and he died on the scene. No, he didn't. It turned out that he had a stroke a couple of days later. So that's a blatant lie. And not one mainstream media person said, "Hey, you're lying. Why? This is not one person died." But it keeps feeding the narrative of, "Oh my gosh, this was so bad. This was so bad. This was so bad." Okay, yeah, it was not a highlight of the world, but it was not an insurrection. It was about 300 morons running around the building. And the worst part about that guy, Gunnell, he was complaining after that. I didn't let him keep going because I didn't want to hear him anymore. But he was complaining how he was hurt and injured and he barely survived. There's videos everywhere. Jenna, video 11. You can see right now when he's just walking around, cruising around. Yeah, doesn't seem injured to me. High-fiving, throwing knuckles. Oh, yeah, okay. If that's injured, I want to be injured. I kind of like how it looks like he has the Bane mask on from The Dark Knight, though. Or is that a gas mask? Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. Either one would be kind of cool. But yeah, he seems fine to me. So he was double line? Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Jenna. You can bring me back. So yeah, okay. So no one's going to call him out on that. And if you've been watching the news at all, you'll see that the Democrats, they keep pressing over and over and over and over and over on Project 2025. And Project 2025 for those. Oh, hold on. Jenna wants me to do an email. Rubio, did your kids feel pressure to play football in college because you did and you're a long-standing coach? Right off the bat, I told them if they want to play football, they can play football. If they want to be a long snapper, I'll make them the best long snapper in the world, but I'm not going to ever ask them to coach them. I'm never going to do that just because I know it's too much pressure on them. And I've had my oldest son, Cruz, he just graduated from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, had a phenomenal career there. Shout out to Cruz. My middle son, Ritz, he's at Montana State. They just had a great victory last week against New Mexico. He plays D tackle. He's just too big to be a long snapper. He's just a big piece of beef. He's like 6'2.5", 280. And let's just say he's not weak. He's a very strong human. And Damon Dale, my 13-year-old, he's into baseball right now. And that's kind of his thing. And he's this little teeny tiny kid. My wife's DNA kind of screwed that one up. So we'll see what happens with him. But if he wants to play football, he can play football. I don't care. As long as they're happy and healthy, it doesn't matter to me. So Project 2025, good email question, by the way, was brought up over and over and over again. If those that don't know what Project 2025 is, it's this 965-page memorandum, think Jerry Maguire style, of people can sign up for it, register for it, like so you're part of it, and then you just add ideas to it. And most of them are pretty middle of the road. There are some very right-wing ideas, and there's some even kind of lean a little bit left, but most of it is middle to right, and there's some heavy right ideas. And they keep saying that it's El Trumpo's ideas, El Trumpo's ideas. He's disavowed it like 60 times. Like they've even put it on their press releases, everything. He's come out and said, I have no part of 2025, nothing. Some ideas are bad, some ideas are good. I've got no part of it. I have no affiliation. I haven't written one thing in it. I didn't write anything. I didn't verbalize anything on it. It's nothing. Okay, but they just kept hammering it home. Video 17.
Book from before.
And this.
And let's talk about Project 2025.
Donald Trump's Project 2025.
Take Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Their Project 2025 will make things much, much harder.
On page 562, it says that Donald Trump could use an obscure law.
This is Project 2025, the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term.
Their agenda, Project 1825. I'm sorry.
Donald Trump's roadmap
you can bring me back on.
to ban abortion.
So that goes on like 55 times. And here's the thing. That would be like me, you were saying, and Rubio's got this book on how much he absolutely loves poutine. And Rubio's got this book on how much he loves poutine and the flavor and the juices and the tenderness of, I don't even know what's in there, the potatoes or whatever, and the French fries. And Rubio, and everyone would go, yeah, Rubio hates poutine. That's not his book, man. Trust me, you got the wrong Rubio. All right. And so it got so bad that El Trumpo's denounced it 1,000 times, which he's just stopped doing it now. It's just stupid. That video 18, Jenna, watch what happens here.
Listen to this claim from Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware about Project 2025 and former President Trump.
He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud, but not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it. What's it called? Project 2025.
That is false. Trump did not write Project 2025. The project's big policy document published by the Heritage Foundation think tank lists dozens of people as authors, editors, contributors. Donald Trump is not among them.
It's pretty bad when even CNN's calling you out and saying, hey, man, he didn't write it. It's not a part of him at all. So stop talking about it because you're just making yourself look dumb. It's a big, massive book. Is it very right-wing? Sure it is, but it has nothing to do with him. It's the same as a Rubio poutine cookbook. It's not happening. It's just not happening. I don't want to tell you, but they're just doing all this fear-mongering of, oh, my God, Project 2025, Trump is going to initiate it. It's not even his ideas. So why would he do it? It's dumb. But the best zinger of the night to me was Tim Walz, the VP candidate. Let's go to vid 23, Jenna.
We also protected reproductive freedom because in Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make. And even if we wouldn't make those same choices for ourselves, we've got a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Mind your own damn business. Okay. Let me remind you, and you can look this up if you want. Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota. During the Rona, during COVID, he set up a snitch line. A snitch line. So say Jenna is my neighbor and Trump is the think tank. Trump is a thing. Yeah, I don't know about that one. So say I see Jenna over there and it's during the Rona and Minnesota was locked down. I'm talking lockdown. And I see Jenna outside and she's throwing down a Camel non-filter or Marlboro Red. She's having a couple brewskis outside or whatever. And I could call this number, this snitch line, say, yeah, this is anonymous. I'm just letting you know at 1102 Richardson, there's a person out there smoking down some Marlboro Reds. Yeah, she's outside. Yeah, she shouldn't be. I know. That's why I'm calling. Like, what? Like, but you can mind your own damn business. What happened during that time? What happened to minding my own damn business there? I don't understand. I mean, respecting your neighbors? How is that respecting your neighbors? And you're like, well, Rubio, it was a tough time. You didn't know about the Rona. Yeah, you did. Unless you were just shoveling the mainstream media in like a fire hose because you just haven't had the right poutine yet in Canada. Jenna, stop pushing the poutine. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't know about it. Jenna, is there any spicy poutine? Maybe that's it because there's just no flavor to it. And you guys can have ketchup chips, which probably are fantastic. I thought Nana Mona was going to mail me some. But yeah, Jenna, is there any spicy poutine? I don't know. That would be good. I don't know. So the hypocrisy of the whole thing was just amazing to me. And I don't know. Let's move on to something about love. Don't get me started on Nana Mona mailing you chips. Well, what's the deal here? I'll give you my address. Let's make it happen. Working hard is not enough. Okay, Jenna, why don't you throw a pick 12? Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have filed for divorce on their 2-year anniversary. All right. So here's the thing. I'm going to go through this kind of quick. We'll go to a commercial, then we'll wrap up the show with confidence is the key because I have a feeling that section is going to go a little long. I have no problem with people getting married. I have no problem people getting divorced. I've been divorced. I'm happily married right now. Getting divorced on your 2-year anniversary, that's kind of dirty. I feel kind of just dirty even talking about it. Okay. And now let's talk about J-Lo here because Jenna and I were doing a pre-show, call, whatever, and we're a little confused. She's been married 5 times. 5 times. So let's just run through pick 13 through 16, Jenna. So number 1 was Ojani Noah. This was from 97 through 98. Obviously got married a little bit young. She looks very Selena right there. The next one from 2001 to 2003 was Chris Judd. He kind of looks like a fitter, younger me with no goatee. Then you've got from 2004 to 2014, pick 15. This is Mark Anthony. Is it Anthony, Jenna, or Antony? I don't know. But she looks happy there. I mean, pretty girl. And then 2017 through 21, she's got A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, good-looking couple. So married 5 times. Okay. At what point do you throw in the towel? At what point do you say, maybe marriage isn't for me? And I'm not throwing bones. She wants to keep getting married, but with as much money as she makes and as much money as her husbands make, she's not obviously picking hobos. It's one of those things. Can you imagine the legal fees of them getting divorced? If you've ever been divorced, let's just say it's not a very easy process. It takes a while, except for in Idaho. I think in Idaho, you can get divorced in 28 days. Someone might want to fact check me on that one, but I think it's 28 days from when the first time you say peace out till you sign and it's game over. Anthony, I said it right. Thank you, Jenna. So is she a hopeless romantic or does she need to give it up? I don't know. I think after 5, I could tell you after 2, If God forbid anything happens with me and my wife, I'm done. I think that it's just a lot of work. I told her I want your address. What do we do with her? Oh, Nana Mona, I'll talk to her. I'll send you my address, Nana Mona. And back to J-Lo, maybe just date from this point on. Just do some long-term dating, see what's going on. I don't know. I do know that we're going to break to commercial, then I'm going to come back with confidence is the key, and we're going to talk about RFK Jr.'s big announcement. Jenna, I'm out.
You have been watching The Rubio Method.
Hey, it's AC of AC Sports Live, an interactive sports talk show where your comments are part of the show. Every show we focus on the sports stories of today, with commentary on sports takes, My 2 Cents, which is a reaction to my social media feed, Sports Flicks, where we take a look at sports movies and give a quick review. We have a segment called Mental Reps, where we have words of inspiration to help battle the dark side of men's mental health. And then there's the Tender Love Report. Who's being soft or petty in the world of sports? All takes are welcome under one condition. Say it with your chest. I'll see you there.
Take it away, Rubio.
Focus up. I'm talking to you, 34. I just wanted to thank you again for going down to that sporting goods shop. Oh, that's right. You didn't. Still hurts. We'll talk about that more. Welcome back to episode 73 of The Rubio Method. You can email rubio@therubiomethod.com if you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, do all that good stuff. Leave a comment, do whatever you got to do. And like I said, if you have any comments you want to email the show, email rubio@therubiomethod.com. This one says, Rubio, I appreciate your show so much. Thank you. You are funny, informative, and a great internet friend. How did you start the show? How did I start the show? I don't know. It was one of those things that it started off with like a mental health type show. I just wanted to help out some guys. And it's kind of branched away from that. So I'm still, I want to focus on dudes. But not just dudes. I just want people to be informed. I just feel like the mainstream media is so diabolical right now, where you get just fed so much information. And I talk to a lot of people with opposing views, and I'll say, like, did you know this? And they'll say, no, that's not true. And I'll say, no, it is true. And I'll show them evidence. Like the January 6th where 5 cops were killed, and they'll believe that to the day is long. And no, it's not. And I can prove it over and over and over. Like if a lot of you are watching on mainstream media, I don't know how many of you know that Mark Zuckerberg penned a letter yesterday or 2 days ago, basically saying that in 2021 and before that, the government and Joey B. and Kamala basically told him any story on Hunter Biden, FBI told him, do not publish it. Do not put it out. Anything that's negative on the Rona, COVID, do not publish it and ban those people from Facebook. And like the whole ivermectin thing, like that's insane to me that the FBI could do that, that the government can do that. And so, but like I looked all over my paper, looked all over, no Mark Zuckerberg letter today. And he flat out admitted that's an election tampering, that you're tampering with the election if people, what they're doing for that. Jenna says, wonder what he got paid for that or what they threatened Mark. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he needs the money. I think he knows that the possibility of El Trumpo coming in is pretty strong, and El Trumpo is going to go right at him. And I also think possibly there was a whistleblower about to come out and say, hey, man, here's what's happened. I'm just giving you a heads up that the government told us to do this. And anyone that looked at me right now and said, Rubio, you're crazy. There's no letter. Just look it up. I'll talk about it tomorrow on my Rundown with Rubio. I actually talked about it yesterday with my Rundown with Rubio. Every day I put out a 4-minute news segment, and I cover everything happens for a reason. Winners and losers in life. Accept and embrace. Working hard is not enough. Confidence is the key. I have a little list right there. And I just break down stories real quick. It's not an hour long like this is. All right. So confidence is the key. Jenna, you didn't warn me. This chair keeps going down, and all of a sudden I'm sub 60 head. Confidence is the key. RFK Jr. has suspended his campaign. For those that don't know, that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., lifelong Democrat. If you don't know who the Kennedys are, you've been in a coma for your entire life. They're a lifelong Democratic royalty, basically, as close to royalty as possible. He's had some issues where his uncle was shot, his dad was shot. And so he was trying to run for the Democratic Party, and they wouldn't allow him to. They were not putting him on ballots. They were changing the rules yet again. I know that Michelle Obama doesn't believe that. And he suspended his campaign after he was going basically libertarian right in the middle. He wasn't going to win. It was going to be too hard for him. But this is what his video, it's a 15-minute video. I'm not going to show you the whole video, obviously. But if you have a chance to watch it, it came out Friday at about, I think, 10:30. It was absolutely phenomenal. And he is just flamethrowing everybody. Video 19, Jenna.
Free world. Instead of showing us her substance and character, the DNC and its media organs engineered a surge of popularity for Vice President Harris based upon, well, nothing. No policies, no interviews, no debates, only smoke and mirrors and balloons in a highly produced Chicago circus. There in Chicago, a string of Democratic speakers mentioned Donald Trump 147 times just on the first day. Oh, who needs a policy when you have Trump to hate? In contrast, at the RNC convention, President Biden was mentioned only twice in 4 days.
Okay, so he goes off, and he's basically, nothing he said there is incorrect. He said, you guys placed Kamala in there. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all hype. You know, like I said, 6 weeks ago, she was terrible. She was the worst VP candidate they've ever had. They said, blah, blah, blah. Her poll numbers were 0. She ran for president in 2020. She didn't even make the first primary. She was polling less than 1%. Less than 1%. She's done nothing for 3 years. I mean, these are simple facts. Okay, and now she's the second coming of Christ. She's the best thing since sliced bread. Argue with me if you want. That's a simple fact. And okay, well, what is she running on? I don't know. Now, here's the thing. This was on X. You can find it all over X, Twitter. Okay, the whole thing was being fed. Now, if you watch the mainstream media, they didn't like what he was saying because he was blasting them as well, saying, hey, you guys are just a mouthpiece for Kamala. This is terrible. So video 20, Jenna, watch this.
Over ideas. They would be astonished to learn of a Democratic Party presidential nominee who, like Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days.
We've been listening to independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. from Phoenix outlining what led him to his quixotic quest for the White House to now dropping out and relinquishing the title of.
That is amazing. So CNN, quote unquote, a massive news network, literally cuts him off. He's not saying anything that's not true, untrue, no, not true, not factual. Okay. And they say, yeah, so you're watching Robert F. Kennedy. Yeah, basically, he was just getting too warm. He was throwing out too many facts, and they cut him. Like, you're a major news factor. This is one of the top 3 presidential candidates, and you just cut his speech off. And he's not going to go over 2 hours. It was like 14, 15 minutes. But that is absolutely insane to me. So if you just watch mainstream media, you wouldn't even know what's happening. Okay, why did he quit? Oh, he just didn't want to run anymore. Oh, was there any reasons why? Was he upset about anything? I don't know. CNN cut it off. Like, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. And immediately the mainstream media started going at him. Within the next day, one of his college roommates at Yale or Harvard said he was a cocaine dealer in the 80s. Okay. In the 80s, I think everyone was a cocaine dealer. Number one, I've seen Miami Vice. I know how things rolled. And number two, all of a sudden you're finding this out? And they even got rude about his, if you can't hear him, obviously you can. He's got spasmodic dysphonia condition. Basically, his muscle spasms in his throat. So they're always spasming. That's why he always sounds like he's kind of choking / getting electrocuted. It's not pleasant to hear, don't get me wrong. But they even make fun of that. Let's go to video 21.
Yeah, I was watching that, and Donald Trump last week stood and said in front of a bunch of groceries and said, I haven't seen any Cheerios in a long time. I had Cheerios for breakfast. This was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And trying to get any logic out of that is good luck with that. Because it's, one, you can't understand what he says. Two, if you can't understand what he says. And I'm reminded of a line in Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles when somebody gets up and gives an indecipherable speech. He says, who can argue with that? That's authentic frontier gibberish, and that's exactly what that is.
What was gibberish about it? And why would you make fun of someone's condition like that? Do you think he wants to talk like Froggy from the Little Rascals that's being electrocuted? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Okay, and imagine having to give speeches yeah, Jenna makes a great point. Like, we could understand Joey B. That's a great point. And you can understand Kamala because she doesn't talk to anyone. I would love to know what she's relying on and not just flip-flopping. It got so bad that even his family is not pleased because they're lifelong Kennedys. So I'm going to read this as Jenna puts up pick 22. Pick 22. Statement from Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s announcement today. We want an American filled with hope, and bound together by a shared vision of a brighter future, a future defined by individual freedom, economic promise, and national pride. We believe in Harris and Walls. Our brother Bobby's decision to endorse Trump today is a betrayal of the values that our father and our family hold most dear. It is a sad ending to a sad story. Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, Courtney Kennedy, Kerry Kennedy, Chris Kennedy, or Rory Kennedy. They posted that. That, to me, is disgusting. I mean, you could disagree. I mean, I disagree with my mother left and right. I'm not going to publicly come out and say exactly why I'm disagreeing it or what we're disagreeing about. I'm just going to say we disagree. But I'm not going to make it, well, I guess I am kind of making it a little public right now. But I'm just not going to make a bold statement, and we're not the Kennedys, for the love of God. About 6 people know us. But it's one of those things I would never, ever, ever publicly humiliate them like this. And for them to do that, it's just, to me, it's gross. And so confidence is the key. He has an incredible amount of confidence to do what he did, and he's doing it for the country. He's doing it for America. He's already come out and said, I do not agree with everything El Trumpo talks about. He goes, there's several things that I don't. But if I'm looking at it simply for the United States of America, he's a better candidate. That everyone was better under him. That's simple facts. Okay. Everyone's worse under Joey B and Kamala. Unless you're an illegal alien, I guess you'd be better off. And it's one of those things where he's saying, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to get on this side because for America, it's better. And like I said, for people that are against it, at some point, you have to decide, do you hate El Trumpo more than you love America? Because that seems to be the big rub for me on this one. On that note, let's get to the bottom line. The bottom line for all you new watchers and listeners on Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, all that good stuff. The bottom line is all the stuff that you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Here we go. Number 1, take a stand if you believe in it and stick with it. Number 1, take a stand and believe in it and stick with it. This is the Kamala thing. Just take a stand. I would have more respect if she just said, I'm opposed to the wall. I don't want the wall. I think it's stupid. It's a vanity project. It's a waste of money. They're just going to go over it with 30-foot ladders from Tim Walz. Take a stand. I may not agree with you, but at least you're taking a stand. Jenna, she takes a stand. Randy and Chevy, they take the stand that poutine is good. I think they're both stupid, or all three of them are stupid. But at least they're taking that stand. Go more. Number 2. Learn how to read the room and just be a bit self-aware. Learn how to read the room and be just a tad bit self-aware. This goes to Michelle Obama and Oprah. Look around, man. Read things. I know you don't go grocery shopping yourself, and you probably haven't filled up a car in 50 years, but it's one of those things. You can know that the economy is not doing well. You can't just say, oh, you shouldn't have more than you need. You got 5 homes. The cheapest one's $8.3 million, man. Come on. You're wearing shoes that cost more than a lot of people make in a month. Read the room. And number 3, you may not always agree with your family, but they're still your family. So treat them like that. And like I said, you're not going to agree with your family. If you get along with every single person in your family, like 100%, you're a liar. That's a simple thing. There's no one, and the bigger your family is, there's going to be one jackass in the group. It might be me, come to think of it. Who knows? Jenna, we did it. This was a great show. Jenna, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. Remember, if you have any questions, you can email Rubio at therubiomethod.com.3. I saw that number 3. If you have any questions, you can find me on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, X at the Rubio Method on all of them. Next week, we're not sure what day we're going to do the show. We have to check Jenna's schedule. She's going off to the Riviera with Nana Mona, so it should be a good time. On that note, I'm out.
Thanks for watching The Rubio Method. Be sure to spread the word, and don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.